All right, grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and let's just take a quick minute to chat. If you've, glanced at your phone or watched the news lately, you've definitely been bombarded with the letters A and I. In this explainer today, we're going to do a completely relaxed, totally jargon-free breakdown of artificial intelligence. No confusing tech speak, absolutely no doom and gloom, just a straightforward, easygoing look at what it actually is, where the heck it came from, and how it's kind of quietly running things right behind the scenes of our daily lives. So the big question right off the bat, what exactly is artificial intelligence anyway? It's a term that gets thrown around so much, it almost feels like a magical buzzword, right? I mean, people talk about it like it's going to either solve all the world's problems tomorrow or take over the planet by next Thursday. But let's cut through all that overwhelming noise right now and just set a nice, reassuring baseline for our conversation. Artificial intelligence is, simply put, the ability of machines to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. That's really it. At its core, we're literally just talking about machines doing things that usually require our brains. Things like solving a complex puzzle, understanding human language, or recognizing a specific pattern in a sea of data. It isn't magic, it's just really, really advanced problem solving by computers. Okay, let's dive into this, because, Hollywood has heavily trained us on what to expect here. We picture this shiny, glowing robot staring thoughtfully at math equations floating in the air, probably right before it decides humanity is obsolete and goes full Terminator. It's super dramatic, it's totally cinematic, but honestly, our everyday reality is incredibly mundane compared to that whole sci-fi trope. See, what pop culture shows us is often what experts call strong AI, or superintelligence, machines that can learn and understand completely independently, basically matching the human mind. And while that makes for a great blockbuster movie, that's not what's running our world right now. Instead, we are interacting with everyday AI. We're talking about your quick Google searches, Siri setting your morning alarm, or, my personal favorite, the beautiful spam filter that mercifully keeps your inbox free of distant princes offering fake lottery winnings. It's super helpful, it's largely invisible, and you're using it every single day without a second thought. All right, moving on to Section 1, the drama of AI history. Now, you might think AI is this super recent invention, cooked up in some Silicon Valley garage just a few years ago. But the truth is, we've actually been dreaming about this for a surprisingly long time. Way back in the 17th century, philosopher René Descartes was already speculating about mechanical thinking machines. Then you jump ahead to 1842, and Ada Lovelace realizes that computers could actually do way more than just basic arithmetic. By 1936, Alan Turing gives us the theoretical model for calculations, the famous Turing machine. And finally, in 1956, at the Dartmouth Conference, artificial intelligence officially becomes a recognized academic field of research. So it's literally a centuries-long journey from a philosophical daydream to an actual science. But I can assure you, it has not been a smooth ride. Not at all. The field has gone through these massive cycles of wild hype, followed by severe crashes. During periods like the 1970s and the late 80s, developers overpromised massive breakthroughs. And when the tech failed to deliver on those wild promises, funding dried up and enthusiasm absolutely tanked. These periods became known as AI winters. Just think of it as the technology being put in a timeout because it wrote checks its code couldn't cache. Just as winter slows down growth in nature, these periods completely slowed down development. Labs faced brutal budget cuts, and serious research completely stalled out until reality set back in. Which brings us to Section 2, AI in our daily lives. Thankfully, the AI winter eventually thawed out. And if we shift our chat back to the present day, while we aren't hanging out with sentient robots just yet, AI has quietly woven itself into the fabric of our modern world. It's running things right now in ways that make our lives incredibly convenient. Over in major cities, algorithms are actively managing traffic signals to reduce congestion and save you fuel on your commute. When you're shopping online, it's AI recommending products perfectly suited to your specific browsing habits. And what about that sleek wearable device on your wrist? It's silently tracking your sleep quality, your oxygen levels, your heart rate, analyzing all that data to alert you before serious health issues even occur. It's mundane stuff, sure, but it saves us immense time, energy, and in some cases, our lives. Speaking of everyday experiences, here's one I'm absolutely sure you can relate to. You're on a well-deserved vacation, you try to buy an overpriced souvenir, and boom, your credit card gets declined. It is so annoying in the moment, right? But that sudden foreign vacation purchase actually triggered an AI system. It's successfully spotting unusual spending behavior to stop what it thinks is fraud. That is literally an algorithm doing a lightning-fast risk assessment in real time to protect your wallet. When you look at it that way, you almost want to say thank you to it. But beyond stopping a bad charge at a gift shop, the stakes get much, much higher. 99%. Just pause and think about that number for a second. In the healthcare sector, AI can now interpret mammograms with 99% accuracy, and it can do it without the need for biopsies. It's helping doctors detect diseases earlier and analyze medical reports faster than humanly possible. This isn't just about corporate efficiency or convenience. This is a profound real-world impact that is actively saving human lives today.
Let's move on to Section 3, the big picture, opportunities versus risks.
Let's take a breath here and shift our tone just a bit. As we marvel at these incredible tools, we also have a real obligation to step back and look at the broader horizon. We're constantly weighing the incredible potentials and advantages of this technology against some very real, very practical societal challenges.
It really is a delicate balancing act. On one hand, the opportunities are just staggering. We've got increased efficiency through automation. We just talked about those brilliant healthcare diagnostics. There's even agricultural robotics. Just imagine precision robots weeding, monitoring crops, and actually reducing the environmental impact of traditional farming. But on the flip side, the risks are equally significant. We face deep-rooted data bias, the reality of job displacement as automation takes over repetitive tasks, and what the industry calls black box transparency issues, which honestly is exactly as ominous as it sounds. Now, what's really interesting about this is that one of the biggest hurdles we face is that AI black box. Usually, when a human makes the decision, you can just ask them to explain their logic. You might not agree with it, but you can at least understand how they got from point A to point B. But many AI systems are deeply complex black boxes. They process massive amounts of data and spit out an answer, but they're so incredibly complex that even their own developers don't fully understand exactly how they reach that specific conclusion. And that lack of transparency, well, that can seriously reduce our trust in the systems we're relying on. Because of that black box, we have to remember that AI doesn't just think in a vacuum. It learns from data created by us humans, and that means it can easily just repeat and even amplify our existing historical data flaws and biases, leading to really skewed results. These systems are also super vulnerable to data poisoning and cyber attacks. If we just blindly delegate our decisions to machines without carefully managing how they operate, we really threaten to exacerbate economic inequality. It's a highly complex system that we absolutely have to steer carefully. I know, that sounds a little heavy, but let's look at the flip side of that coin. Look at this quote with me from Max Tegmark. Everything we love about civilization is a product of intelligence, so amplifying our human intelligence with artificial intelligence has the potential of helping civilization flourish. That right there is the perspective we really need to hold on to. If we manage it safely and steer it well, AI isn't the villain in some science fiction movie. It's simply the most incredible tool we have ever built to help humanity thrive. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder the next time you're chatting with your colleagues at the coffee machine. As we hand over more and more of our daily decisions to the complex black box of AI, who is ultimately responsible when it gets it wrong? Is it the developer who wrote the code, the user who implemented it, or the machine itself? It's a fascinating, deeply practical question we are all going to need to navigate as we step into this future together. Anyway, thanks so much for taking a coffee break with me on this explainer today. Keep asking great questions, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time.